Rizal's retraction letter. At least 4 texts of Rizal's retraction have surfaced. The 4th text appeared in EI Impartial on the day after Rizal's execution. It is the short formula of the retraction. The first text was published in La Voz Española and Diario de Manila on the very day of Rizal's execution, December 30, 1896. The second text appeared in Barcelona, Spain on February 14, 1897 in the fortnightly magazine in La Juventud. It came from an anonymous writer who revealed himself 14 years later as Father Balaguer. The original text was discovered in the Arjusesan archives on May 18, 1935, after it disappeared for 39 years from the afternoon of the day when Rizal was shot. We know not the reproductions of the lost original had been made by copyists who could imitate Rizal's handwriting. This fact is revealed by Father Balaguer himself, who, in his letter to his former superior, Father P.U.P. in 1910, said that he had received an exact copy of the retraction written and signed by Rizal. The handwriting of this copy, I don't know nor I do remember whose it is, he proceeded. I even suspect that it might have been written by Rizal himself. I am sending it to you, that you may verify whether it might be of Rizal himself. Father P. was not able to verify it, his sworn statement. This exact copy had been received by Father Balaguer in the evening immediately preceding Rizal's execution. Rizal Y. Soobra and followed by Senior W. Ritana in his biography of Rizal. Vida Y. Scretos del Jose Rizal, with the addition of the names of the witnesses taken from the text of the retraction in the Manila newspapers. Father P's copy of Rizal's retraction has the same text as that of Father Balaguer's exact copy but follows the paragraphing of the text of Rizal's retraction in the Manila newspapers. Regarding the original text, no one claimed to have seen it, except the publishers of La Voz Española. That newspaper reported. Still more, we have seen and read his Rizal's own handwritten retraction, which he sent to our dear and venerable Archbishop. On the other hand, Manila pharmacist Father Stahl wrote in a letter, besides, nobody has seen this written declaration in spite of the fact that quite a number of people would want to see it. For example, not only Rizal's family but also the correspondents in Manila of the newspapers in Madrid, Don Manuel Alama of El Impartial and Senior Santiago Mataix of El Heraldo were not able to see the handwritten retraction. Neither Father P nor His Grace, the Archbishop, ascertained whether Rizal himself was the one who wrote and signed the retraction. Ascertaining the document was necessary because it was possible for one who could imitate Rizal's handwriting. Aforesaid holograph and keeping a copy of the same for our archives, I myself delivered it personally that the same morning to His Grace Archbishop. His Grace testified at once the undersigned entrusted this holograph to Rev. Thomas Gonzalez Fijo, Secretary of the Chancery. After that, the documents could not be seen by those who wanted to examine it and was finally considered lost after efforts to look for it proved futile.
So, in May 18, 1935, ay nawawalang original documents of Rizal's retraction na discovered daw ng Archdiocesan Archivist Father Manuel Garcia. And yun, may na-discovered ulit silang bago, which is really differs significantly from the text found in the Jesus and the Archbishop's copies. And the fact that the text of the retraction which appeared in the Manila newspaper could be shown to be the exact copies of the original but only imitations of it, sabi nila. And magpuproceed tayo ngayon sa pagkakaiba nila. So, first, instead of the words "mi qualidad" with "you," which appear in the original in the newspaper text, the Jesus copies have "mi calidad." Second, the Jesus copies have the retraction and the word "católica" after the iglesias, the first iglesias, which are found in the original and the newspaper text. Third, the Jesus copies of the retraction add before the iglesias the word "misma," which is not found in the original and the newspaper text. Fourth, with regards to paragraphing, which immediately strikes the eye of the critical reader, Father Balaguer's text does not begin the second paragraph until the fixed sentences, while the original and the newspaper copy start the second paragraph immediately with the second sentences. Fifth, Whereas the original of the Manila newspaper have only 4 commas, while Father Balaguer's copy have 11 commas. And 6, the most important of Father Balaguer's did not have witnesses, while the newspaper in Manila have witnesses. So 20 years later, Father Balaguer's named the witnesses, and he said that it was signed together with Dr. Rizal by Senior Fresno Chief of the Picket and the Senior Moore Adjutant of the Plaza. However, the preceding quotation only proves itself to be an addition to the original. Moreover, in his letter to Father P in 1910, Father Balaguer said that he had the exact copy of the retraction, which was signed by Rizal, but he made no mention of the witnesses in his accounts. No witnesses signed the retraction.
According to Father Pi Rizal, rejected 2 long formulas so that the Father Balaguer had to dictate from the short formula of Father Pi allegedly. Rizal wrote down what was dictated to him, but he insisted on adding the phrases in which I was born and educated, and monastery as the enemy that is of the church, the first of which Rizal would have regarded as unnecessary and the second as downright contrary to his spirit. However, what actually would have happened if we are to believe the fictitious account, what was the result additions on the phrases was the reiteration of the phrases found in the original, which had been omitted in Father Pi's short formula. The exact copy was shown to the military men guarding in Fort Santiago to convince them that Rizal had retracted. Someone read it aloud in the hearing of Captain Dominguez, who claimed in his notes that Rizal read aloud his retraction. However, his copy of the retraction proved him wrong, because in text read you and omits the word Catholica, as in Father Balaguer's copy, but which are not the case in the original. Cap Dominguez never claimed to had seen the retraction, he only heard the truth in that almost 2 years before his execution, Rizal had written a retraction in the Pitan. Very early in 1895, Josephine Bracken came to the Pitan with her adopted father, who wanted to be cured on his blindness by Dr. Rizal. Their guide was Manuel Orla, who was agent and a mistress of Prior. Rizal fell in love with Josephine and wanted to marry her canonically, but he was required to sign a profession of faith and to write retraction, which had to be approved by Bishop of Cebu. Spanish law had established civil marriage in the Philippines. Proofs grade wrote, but local government had not provided any way for people to avail themselves of the right. In order to marry Josephine, Rizal wrote with the help of a priest a form of reflection to be approved by the Bishop of Cebu. This incident was revealed by Father Antonio Ogba to his friend Prof. Austin Kirk, who wrote down in 1912 what the priest had told him. The documents enclosed with the priest's letter was ready for the mail when Rizal came hurrying to retrieve it. Rizal realized, perhaps rather late, that he had written and given a priest what the priest had been trying by all men to get him. Neither the Archbishop nor Father Pi saw the original document's retraction. What they was saw a copy done by one who could imitate Rizal handwriting, while the original was skipped by someone prayers. Both the Archbishop and Father Pai acted innocently because they could not distinguish between the genuine and the imitation of Rizal handwriting.